Hi friends, welcome to Alva's World. This is episode 3. So, I'm surprised. My last episode got 5 views, even though I don't have any hashtag or some keyword for the video, but still there's someone who is interested in it and clicked my video. So, thank you for those 5 viewers. And this show, like this podcast, non-face show podcast, is actually a very personal podcast. I'm just sharing some random thoughts every week, so it will be a little bit messy and it doesn't have a lot of logic here. I don't have any scripts in front of me. I didn't prepare anything for it. It's just a test for me to see how long can I consistently posting new videos, new thoughts every week, because I want to push myself to output some new things. I don't know if those are valuable. Maybe those are not that much valuable for me, but it might have some insight for other people. And it's very good for me to sit on my bed and talking to my phone, recording my thoughts once every week. Yeah, so let's just stop there. That's too long for the opening. And today's topic, I would like to share with you about how to communicate it with your bosses. You know what? So last week, I have a very busy but boring week. Why I describe it as boring? Because I don't have any work. Like I mentioned in my last podcast, I didn't got many work to do, and actually I'm a workaholic. So if I am empty in my working hours, I'll feel demotivated. And why I'm saying busy, because at the end of the week, I suddenly got 2 new projects to work on. So, busy and boring? Yeah, it's a mixed way. But the point is, during my spare time, I don't have any communication with my boss. And I think that's might not be a good thing, because if you have no connection with your boss, especially when you don't have any projects on hand, then you can't show him your value. Yep. So I just thought that maybe it's very critical for me to reach out to him first and talk with him about how I should prepare myself for any kind of upcoming project. But meanwhile, there's nothing I can do. So if I talk with him without any preparation or any outcome from my words, maybe he will think that I'm just wasting his time. So I just figure out how to find myself some other extra works to do. That's my step number 1. Whenever you want to communicate or talk with your bosses, even though you can treat them as your friend, but eventually they're not. So you have to have yourself prepared. You have to have something with you when you reach out to them. And the step number 2 is some people will feel like they're hesitant. They don't have the confidence. They don't think that bosses have the time to like communicate with them, to hear them out, to like guide them in their work. So maybe they will just like too shy and holding themselves back and just think that I need to reach out to my bosses, but they never take the first step. But in my circumstance, I never ever liked leave my thoughts without any action on it. If I have any idea or thoughts, I must to have it executed. So the step number 2 is do it. Even though at that time my boss is not in my office, he was on a business trip in other province, but I still reach out to him. How? I text him. Even though that might not be a very good method to talk with your bosses, because I think that the most productive or direct way to communicate with your boss or with your friends, with any kind of people, is to talk with them face to face, in person. Yeah, but it's a special circumstance because my boss is on a business trip. So, but I need to get my things done. So I texted him. But if your boss is around you, and you can actually tell them that, hey bosses, I want to have you 10 minutes and I want you to sit with me and I have some thoughts to share with you. Maybe you can just directly tell them that you want to have a meeting very in a casual way with them. But so I just choose to do what I want to do. So I texted him. I got everything prepared. I told my bosses that, boss, here's what I've done during this 2 empty week. And I did A, I did B, I did C, and then there's other projects handled by my other colleagues, and I have some special thoughts on them. I think you might be interested in the insight from me. Maybe I can show you some different perspective that you might be helpful. That's not the correct way to say. Maybe you can take some valuable element from my perspective, from my thoughts. Yeah. And I just share with him the thoughts of me on other projects, because those projects are not handled by me. So I don't think it's okay for me to directly talk with my colleagues. Maybe for some people, they think that it's helpful if you can share your thoughts with your colleagues. But in my cases, if I choose to share my thoughts to my colleagues directly, they might feel offensive. So I choose to tell my boss, because we are a very small team. So it's actually just about telling another team member about your thoughts. It's not something about bosses or colleagues situation. It's one team member or the other team member. Yeah, some kind of thing like that. And then the last things in my text, I told him that I feel like there might be some help. There might be something that I can help you with in the current situations. Maybe I can help you with A and B and C. Do you need me to do those things? I just told my boss these things, and just that. I texted him. I just told him what I've done and what my thoughts on the things that are running in the company, even though I'm not part of it. And I told him that maybe I can help you with in some other like projects, or just tell him that you might have something that you can help him, and tell him to and let him to make the decisions. But to tell you a little secret, before I told him that maybe I can do the ABC thing to help to find us some projects. Should I do that? Before I told him that should I do that, I've already started doing it. So it doesn't hurt anything. Just some people will think that you should get the permission, you should get the approval from your leader to start doing the things, or it will be a waste of time because your time is valuable. So if the thing is not approved, or they will not be permitted, then why waste your time to do the thing that have no results? But from my perspective, if you think something is good for the company, then you should do it. You should start doing it even though without the permission from your boss, even though it will be rejected, even though you will waste your time to invest. You will still need to do, because there's no such thing as 100% accuracy. Should I explain that? You will not hit the point every time. You need to do as much as possible to get yourself to the right thing. You will experience lots of wrong until eventually reach out to the right. So you can't get to the right every time at the very first step. So you need to move, you need to act, you need to push yourself to do the thing that you believed in. Yep. So the last step is to wait for your boss's response. Yeah. And I kind of like it because my boss approved my thoughts on the thing that I can help him with, and because I've already start doing it, so the time he approved, I'm very lucky. I got the results, and it's a good result. So I can give him a very quick response, and it's a very good response. So it's a happy ending. And to add the cherry on top, I also got 2 projects to work on this week. So I might be extremely busy in the next few weeks, but I feel excited you know what? You want to grow yourself in your workplace. I actually think that it's very lucky to have a lot of work to do and a lot of freedom in your workplace. Because for some works, you just doing some tedious works like doing some repetitive things days after day. Those are that's what we call time wasting. And if your works allows you to explore new idea and like handle every perspective of the project, you don't just handle a tiny little part of it, but you got to work on the whole thing. Then actually you must push yourself to learn many things to keep yourself, to make yourself able to handle the project. So yeah, just like that feeling, pushed, challenge, and growth. I know I might fail. I might make mistake. I might get rejected. I might have conflict with my colleagues. But I will eventually grow from those failures or mistakes because I have trust in myself. You see, that's the magical things for my episode. The topics that I made for this one is actually how to communicate with your boss. But in the end, I was talking about how I love self-growth in my work. So, yep. The start doesn't match the end, but I feel happy because I share my thoughts. I explore my feelings and new perspectives on my works. So I'm satisfied, even though the start doesn't match the end. And this is the magical part of my episode, of my podcast, I think. So, you know what? That's Alva's word. There's no logic. There's no preparation. There's no pre-written scripts. They're just a girl sharing her random thoughts on her works. I predict that most of my episode will be work related, because I just put myself wholeheartedly into my work. Yep. And I do have a goal for myself, but I will not tell you guys now. Maybe when I got some subscriber, when I got lots of view from my channel, then I might tell you something about the goal that I set for myself. It's not a big one, but it's big enough for me. Yep, so let's see how long. Oh, it's been almost 20 minutes. That's the longest episode that I've ever recorded. Okay, that's funny. And I'll just end it up here. It's 90 minutes. Let's not get it to 20 minutes. Bye, guys.